Alex Goodwin. Real Talk is a show where myself and my panel that you see here discuss current topics in sports, pop culture, and social issues. Today on my panel we have Bryston Braziel, Tahiri Jones, and Bryce Goodwin. Getting right into it, the Houston Texans had a disastrous 2013 season. They finished 2-14 with the worst record in the NFL. As a result, they got the #1 draft pick in this year's upcoming NFL draft. Some people say they should select South Carolina defensive lineman Jadeveon Clowney, while others say they should select Texas A&M quarterback Johnny Manziel. My question to my panel: who should the Houston Texans select with the #1 overall draft pick, and why? Bryston, we'll start with you.
I say the Texans should take Johnny Manziel. I don't know if anybody would agree with me here, but I say Johnny Manziel. The team needs a quarterback. High risk, high reward is the NFL. That's the name of the game.
High risk is the name of Johnny Manziel.
Schaub cost at least 6 games by
Johnny
being
Manziel.
unimmobile and not be able to make or extend the plays. Rather,
I can't go with that.
what the defense wasn't the problem. We don't need an extra DN. How do you feel?
I agree with Bryson. I think Johnny Manziel be the best pick in this situation. Quarterback is really what the Texans need right now. Defense wasn't the problem. Matt Schaub, he's gone. Needs someone to step up. I don't think Yates could do it. I don't.
I feel the same way about that.
I don't think Yates could do it. Keenum, he might need another year. That's high risk.
He'll never be ready.
You know, I
But
feel like when
I'm still going, and I feel as if Manziel is more of a playmaker type person. He extends the play, you know. He does like things that don't, you know, the play doesn't call for. You know, he can extend the ball on his feet, you know, get some extra space.
That can be
throw
good
the
or
ball.
bad. But his extension of the plays can be good or bad. He could end well. It could, it's like you said, high risk, high reward. It could end in a touchdown, but it also could end in an interception or a fumble or him getting his head knocked off.
That's fine. A team can't win without points being put on the board. No
You know,
points, no dub.
I'd like to weigh in on this issue. Quite frankly, I feel like you've all neglected the fact that this is a pretty deep quarterback class with not very much space between the talent here. While Johnny Manziel is a dynamic athlete, we can all agree with that.
We can.
He is, however, undersized. True. He's 6 feet tall, 6'1",
5'11".
5'11". He's not even 6 feet tall. He weighs what, 100 something pounds? Oh no, excuse me, about 220, maybe. What's his 40? 4'8".
4'7".
And Jadeveon Clowney ran a what?
4'5'9".
And so the thing is, Johnny Manziel capitalized on the difference in ability between him and everybody else on the field in college. When you get to the NFL, defensive linemen run a 4'5". That's rough. And they're 300 pounds. That's very rough. Also, I believe that the Texans would benefit, much as they did drafting Mario Williams over Reggie Bush and another guy who created plays with his feet, Vince Young. And you see where that got.
Don't you bring Vince Young into this?
No.
Vince Young had nothing to do with this.
Rookie of the year.
Vince Young was a rookie of the year. He won a playoff game. His career, Vince Young started 50 games in the NFL. His record was 30-20.
He very well may have. However,
two-time Pro Bowler.
He very well may have. However, if you look at the issues between the issues that are, you know, concurrent between Manziel and Vince Young,
The only reason
I see
Vince
some
Young
of the
is not in
same
the league
things.
right now is because he doesn't lack the mental ability. That's right. Everybody knows Vince Young is a little bit slow.
He's immature.
Okay,
Now take a
now-
look back at Johnny Manziel. Arrest, possession of fake IDs, shows up at a UT frat party.
I mean, he's just having fun. I mean,
When you're
he's
Johnny
in school. He's at school.
Manziel, you can't afford to have fun. When your name is a brand,
So let's get back to it. So who should the Houston Texans pick?
you go Jadeveon Clowney with pick 1, and then the second and third rounds, I believe you can grab an AJ McCarron, a Taj Boyd, a Jimmy something from that same college Tony Romo went to. This is a pretty deep quarterback class, and I believe it can be done.
All right, my personal opinion, I think the Texans should draft Jadeveon Clowney. My personal opinion is this: I think Manziel could be a great player, but the NFL draft is a risk. It's just flat out a risk, and the draft is everybody's trying to take the safest risk. That doesn't make any sense, but you know you have to go with the player that you think is going to give you the best return on your investment. I think you put Clowney and J.J. Watt on opposite sides. That will wreak havoc on offensive lines and quarterbacks all over the league. Can we agree on that?
Yes, I agree. But I say high risk, high reward.
I say Manziel.
I'm going Johnny Manziel.
I'm going Manziel.
You going Clowney?
I'm definitely going Clowney. I can't go with Manziel.
I'm going Clowney as well. it will be very interesting to see who the Houston Texans select with the #1 overall draft pick in the NFL draft. Jadeveon Clowney or Johnny Manziel? We'll see. We'll be right back with more Real Talk. We're back with more Real Talk. Now switching gears to the NBA. The chase for the Larry O'Brien Trophy is on. The NBA playoffs got underway this weekend, and there are many intriguing playoff series. My question to my panel, which is the most intriguing first-round playoff series, and why? Tahiri, we'll start with you.
I'm going to go with the Clippers and the Warriors. Both teams just about even. Stephon Curry, about to see what he's made of. He hasn't really just, like, stepped out, really, in my eyes. I think he got a chance to, like, you know, establish himself. I think Blake Griffin, on the other hand, can show he can make a free throw, you know, down the stretch. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm going to have to roll with Clippers and Warriors, even match teams. You know, good series.
All right, Bryson.
I'm going San Antonio Dallas as the most interesting matchup. Even though they may seem to be teams that are farthest apart in the standings, they seem to have the most. They have the most, you know, rivalry here. You know, we got two Texas teams. Clashes date all the way back to the early 2000s. You know, Dirk and Tim Duncan going at it again. You got the ageless Spurs who will forever seem to be at the top of the Western Conference, and then the Mavericks who struggled to make it back into the playoffs after their years of relative success. You know, they went from competing for championships with the likes of the Heat in the playoffs, in the finals, to relative obscurity in the recent years. So I like to see what Dallas is made of, and if Dirk can make one more run deep in the playoffs.
Bryson.
I'm going to go with the Rockets and Blazers. As we all know, one of the biggest stories of the past 2 years has been Dwight Howard. Where can he be comfortable playing and actually staying with the team and be happy with the coaching? So I say, will he show up this year? He guaranteed championships, so we're going to see how that is. And Harden, as we all know, we've seen him leave OKC and become pretty much a superstar.
Dynamic scorer.
A dynamic scorer. In one game, he had 50. You know, see what he's made of with him and Dwight coming together, look pick and roll, with help from Parsons, you know, the so-called superstars, Lynn, Patrick.
Jeremy Lin's not a superstar. Let's stop.
He's not a star.
Jeremy Lin should be happy he's in the NBA.
Okay, I did put quotes on it. But yeah, we're going to see if they show up and see if Dwight can finally develop that killer instinct.
All right, me personally, I think the most interesting first-round matchup is, like Tahiri said, the Clippers and the Warriors.
There we go.
And there's several reasons why. I think you have two, like Tahiri said, two very evenly matched teams, two very well-coached teams. Mark Jackson for the Golden State Warriors and Doc Rivers for the Los Angeles Clippers. And there's another thing that people have just neglected to mention. These guys really don't like each other. Every time they played this year, there's almost been a fight. Christmas Day, DeAndre Jordan and Andrew Bogut got into it. Police had to get involved. Coaches, team, security had to clear the floor. That's how serious it got out there. I think they're great players on both sides. Chris Paul, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, all these guys can just really shoot it. It's going to be an up-tempo series. Good. I think it's going to be very close like it was last night. Just a very close, contentious series, a whole lot of drama, a whole lot of chippiness as well. You got to watch out for that.
Blake Griffin can do his job, you know, not foul out.
Chris Paul get over it.
Start throwing water on the fans.
That didn't make any sense to me. How he got 6 fouls in 19 minutes. I mean, the Clippers will not be successful if he fouls out it plays less than 20 minutes. He has got to be on the floor to be effective. They need him on the floor. But you also have to look at the fact that they also have J.J. Redick, who can shoot the three, Jamal Crawford, who is instant offense when he comes off the bench. Jamal Crawford hits 2 or 3 three-pointers, and he can go all night long. So that's another thing you have to think about. It will be very interesting to see how these first-round series play out, and we'll be right back with more Real Talk. Back with more Real Talk. Now switching gears from pop culture to social issues. Gay marriage has become one of the hot button issues in the last 15 to 20 years. And several states have even legalized marriage between people of the same sex. My question to my panel, should gay marriage be legal? Bryce, we'll start with you.
As to the legality of gay marriage, I believe that's very sensitive on the issue, because if you go back even towards biblical definitions of marriage between a man and a woman. However, I personally feel like, who am I to tell you what you can and can't do with your life? I wouldn't like if a gay man came into my home and asked me what I was doing with my lady, you know what I'm saying? But I personally am not gay, So I don't know too much about how they feel. Nor it doesn't really bother me too much because they live their life and I live mine. I personally don't feel any type of way towards gay people as long as you don't bring it towards me. That's just how it is.
Alright, Tier.
I think I'm gonna agree with Bryce here. It has nothing to do with me. I'm gonna stay out of it. But if that's what you like, that's what you like. You can't tell someone like what they like, what they can't like. That's like telling someone telling you you can't eat hamburgers because they don't like it. Ain't got nothing to do with them. It's not your issue. Just leave it alone. Let them do them. That's all I got to say.
Bryston.
As far as homosexuality or gay, I mean, I don't have a problem with it. You know, that's them. They live their life. Like you guys said, you know, wouldn't want anybody telling you how to live, coming to your house.
I wouldn't take too kindly to that.
I just say, man, live your life. You know, as far as the legality, you know, it's different states. I don't know. As a nation, I say we should decide as a nation. If you're gonna legalize it, then just legalize it. And don't have people to be required to go to a certain place to live their life. You know. So that's how I feel about it, man. Just do them. Just do what makes you happy.
And you know, I'd like
just
to
don't
throw
bring around me.
I'd like to throw in another point. America was founded on the principles of equality and freedom, and you know, we told ourselves as a melting pot.
For white men, but we don't.
But we told ourselves
Get
as
out.
a melting pot and one of the most diverse places, you know, in the world.
Mhm.
However, somebody comes out with a different orientation, all of a sudden you can't be here no more. You know, if we're going to be accepting of all races, all ethnicities, you know, why are you going to discriminate against gays? And then that's another thing. They fight against discrimination. You know, you amend the Constitution to abolish that, women's rights for black people. So now you got gay rights. It's just a circle. Because you can't let blacks vote, and then you can't let women vote without letting gays do stuff. That's just how it is, because they ain't going to be happy about that.
I understand. Now let me touch on all of your points. Well, I agree. I too am not a homosexual. So my opinion really isn't too. It really isn't. I really don't have too much of a strong opinion on it. It's more of just, you know, if you're gay, whatever makes you happy. The Constitution says life, liberty, and the pursuit of your happiness. That's your life. You have your liberty. You're not in prison somewhere locked up. And if you want to pursue your happiness with another man and you're a man, by all means, go ahead and do it. Now, to your point about what the Bible says about a man and a woman, I think people in general cannot be so. All of the wrong things that we do, all the things we do when we sin, not to get too religious in here, all the things we do when we sin, you know, we repent or whatever. If there's sinning, you know, why are we holding their feet to the fire if they're sinning as well? The Bible says all sin is sin. It's all held in the same light in the eyes of God. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think we should hold their feet to the fire on that. And to what he says about, you know, just make it legal everywhere. I think the nation should not be able to legislate civil rights. And they already did that, and with African Americans and not giving African Americans and women their rights. You should not be able to legislate civil rights. Getting married to whoever you want to is a civil right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you should be able to marry whoever you want to.
But at the same time, everybody, with a lot of, you know, the percentage of the nation starting to, you know, come out with their gay, everybody, they starting to not believe in the Bible because they're gay.
Mm-hmm.
So religious-wise, we can't blame somebody for believing what they really, really, truly believe in. So I try not to throw the Bible in people's face.
Well,
due
see,
to their
I
beliefs.
wasn't necessarily, you know, throwing the Bible because I go to church, but I'm not a Bible thumper. I can really, you know, I know a couple passages. However, I just know that that's what specifically it says in reference to marriage. Now, like previously stated, I have no feelings towards it. I wish gay people the best. Jason Collins and Michael Sam, you know, succeed in life. But, you know, just don't bring it to me.
I guess we're all in agreement here. We'll be back with my favorite segment of the show, What Were You Thinking, right after this. We're back with more real talk. And now time for my favorite segment entitled, What Were You Thinking? Which we give to a celebrity, public figure, a politician, or an athlete. We're going to give them the credit they deserve for generally being stupid. Today, this goes to San Francisco 49ers outside linebacker Aldon Smith. Aldon Smith was at the Los Angeles International Airport over the weekend when he told the TSA agent who was checking his luggage that he had a bomb in it. A bomb.
I love it.
Not water.
I love it.
not water, not some extra hairspray or some hair grease. He told them he had an explosive, a bomb, something that would detonate and blow the whole place up.
Crack is powerful.
Now that makes no sense at all, considering he has a host of other legal issues in several other states. I'm talking about marijuana arrests, gun charges, assault of a female. He has just a list of issues. Now he's gonna add, and he's gonna give himself another problem unnecessarily. Like, come on now. And now that is a felony. 5 years is what he's looking at now for this charge. Let's all ask Alden Smith, what were you thinking? This has been Real Talk. I'd like to thank my panel. This has been Real Talk. I'm your host, Alex Goodwin. We'll see you next time.